So I'm gonna explain I don't need these on. A misconception. I might have already explained this, but in another video, but something on YouTube was talking about time dilation. And so there's a huge misconception. Get my fucking headphones out. In that, so the effects of gravity and the effects of velocity are totally different on time. And that has to deal with quantum atmospheric density, which is my theory, my original one from a long time ago when I was trying to understand what the fucking electron is. And so, and magnetism too. Anyway, so quantum atmospheric density at a high gravitational field, yes, the circumference of the orbit of an electron shrinks because gravity is pressing. Everything's just sort of shrinking, right? So everything's becoming more dense. The quantum atmosphere. So all particles exist in a quantum atmosphere. The nucleus to the electron, and so you have two forms of mass. Anyway, we're not getting into that. So I'm talking about how in a heavy gravitational field, yes, time, because the electron has less distance to travel around the nucleus of an atom. Also, the nucleus of the atom shrinks. It becomes more dense. Think of it like critical mass, right? Until it falls apart. So, what happens when you travel faster? Well, the orbit of the electron becomes oval. It is becoming longer. And so as that happens, the mass, or the quantum atmospheric density of the electron field in the orbits, as that increases, then the density decreases. So as you get closer to the speed of light, all particles are traveling at the same speed. And you have basically disintegration. Everything's translated into energy, pretty much, right? But it's a little different than that. And so for that to happen, as the electron is traveling more ovular around the nucleus of the atom, as you go faster, its quantum atmospheric density is changing and fluctuating from the front of its trajectory, the rear of its trajectory, and all axes around it. And so that quantum atmospheric density is lessening. And so that allows the field to sort of shrink, right? So when that field shrinks, though, what's happening to the nucleus? The nucleus of the atom is expanding. It's doing exactly the opposite of what gravity does. And that's what allows for colored glass condensate. I say matter disintegrates. It's the same. Just, they're similes. But that's how I came to the conclusion, is that all matter just decays, disintegrates, and it's interfering with itself. And it just falls apart. And that's why. That's why it happens. So that's a huge misconception of time dilation. That, time sort of doing the same thing, but it's not. It's doing it in different ways. And so velocity imparts upon time in a completely other manner. So you have your inertial frames for time, and then you have your compressive gravitational frames. So you have two states of mass to deal with. And then also, when I was talking about those other forms of mass, that goes into a whole other theory for my gravitational field model anyway. So there you go. That's the gist of that.